Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubs, here with a special guest today, the Kazi Te Haunui Tuna. He's an artist who also does a bit of moko as well. He's a vegan and also an atheist, which we'd love to get into and learn about all of that too. What's good, my Kazi? How are you?
Hello, my bro. Thank you for having me. Everybody listening in, wherever you fellas are, thank you fellas for listening. Hopefully, there's something that I say in this that makes it worth your fellas' while.
Yeah, because I definitely won't. Oh, well, Kazi, take us back to a young Te Haunui, no hea koe, all that stuff, brother.
Tēnā koe, brother. He uria hau no tūhoi. Etahi atu iwi anō hoki, engari I tipu mai au I roto I te whārua o te waimana, rua toki anō hoki. So growing up, it was just tūhoi.
No motu hake.
Yeah, true, brother. But yeah, I grew up in Waimana. On my dad's side, my dad's from Waimana and my mum's from Ruatoki. And yeah, humble beginnings, bro. Waimana, small country town. Our local primary school floated around 90 to 100 kids. And every time it floated over 100, we buzzed out like, "Whoa, we got 100 kids in our school." And most of them were all our cousins, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, bro, play on the street, all of those sort of ones. And yeah, been doing art my whole life, my bro. And it's my dad, he's an artist as well. My siblings, they're artists too in their own rights. But and my dad, he was an art teacher too at primary school. And
oh yeah,
what I recognized in me, that creative ability and sort of nurtured it, bro. And did well early on in art because of him. And
is that correct?
Now I can actually do art in different forms. The main one being moko and tattooing for a living, bro. So yeah, no, loved the upbringing, bro. Loved the rural lifestyle, and spent a lot of time up at our nan's place too, up Raroa, which is in Waimana as well. Just over the hill from our place, really. And she lives at the beginning of the bush, and spent a lot of time with our marae up there as well, bro, and with some of our cousins. And that was mean. Yeah, we were lucky as. Growing up, brother.
How many siblings, brother?
So got the eldest, my brother Hippa, the one that you know. There were two after him, but they both passed away before they were born. I think one was born and then passed away. So I now like to acknowledge them. I never used to growing up because it was just, didn't know them. But as an adult,
the Pepe, no,
yeah. Rerepoe and Pepe Tuna was their names.
Yeah.
And then me, but I don't count because I'm not my sibling. But younger brother, Virgin, younger sister. She's the youngest at all of us, Maramina. And then we got a bunch of cousins as well who are like our siblings too. We call them our siblings. But
as we do, as we do.
All deeper.
Yeah, hard. No, make it, brother. Well, shout out to that upbringing in it. You said about art. You always done art all your life. Like what are your earliest memories doing art, or?
Bro, yeah, no, that's a cool one actually. This is a story I've shared before. I'm not too sure on a podcast though. But bro, my earliest memory, this one I think you might appreciate, is drawing the Three Ninjas font, bro. Remember Three Ninjas, the movie? Or the movies? There was that font on it, and it was like this cool ass looking lettering. Bro, that's the earliest memory I have of drawing. And it was before I was even at primary school, yeah. And before I could spell. So I just ended up doing a bunch of letters that were those letters on the video VHS tape, bro, on the cover. And did this
Three
drawing.
Ninjas? Holy
Three Ninjas, bro. Yeah. So that's my earliest memory, bro, drawing. And then because, luckily we grew up in pre-internet era. There was internet, but we didn't have internet at our house,
But it's different now. We did grow up because what year you born?
91.
Like we grew up inside of that, because like
yes, bro.
You grew up with the internet, over there, but like you see, we grew up also not having internet. And
we were right at that we're right at the point, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. Like we knew a life before the internet, and obviously we've grown through the internet as well. And then if you're like if you had some rich fanogas, you might have had a bit of internet a bit earlier.
We didn't. And then when we did get it, which was later on, slow as, the dial-ups.
Yeah,
We all remember the dial-ups.
can't even call the phone there. Get off the internet.
No, my mum will need to talk to someone. Oh, I need to use the phone. I've been waiting 20 minutes for this page to load.
Yeah, for the page here. Now the father got the brother's got YouTube out there like this here, get a whole video like Netflix.
Straight up, bro.
They didn't even know the struggles there.
I don't
Wait,
miss
so
those days, bro. I don't miss those days.
So you said that this was even before you could spell. You wrote the Three Ninjas font.
Yeah, my bro.
Well, I still can't spell, so I better start writing the Three Ninjas font, and then I might learn after that.
Oh well, the number 3 saves you 4 letters or 5 letters.
That's a good start, cause solid, my brother. That's mean. So, but how did you? So you just drew. Like, what other things did you get into? Your earliest memory,
bro.
Like,
as a kid, bro. Honestly, if there was anything that I could do, like if I was a millionaire, this is what I would have done as a kid, bro. Just play spacies. That's all I thought about, bro. The only reason I drew was because we didn't have a game at our house. It was at my uncle's place, or at my nan's place, and my uncle lived with it. And so because we couldn't play the game, didn't have the internet. You had TV, but you didn't have kids stuff. Was only on in the afternoons and in the mornings. Yeah. So you either played outside or you drew, bro. So there was but spacies, bro. That was top of my favorite things to do, bro. So I think we started out on Sega Master System and Mega Drive. So like obviously the easy ones, Sonic and Alex the Kid and California Games, Street Fighter and that. But as a little kid, you can't play like fighting games properly. You just button mash your way through it and hope for the best. But if you played any of your older cousins or uncles,
just
they just kick your ass, bro. Yeah, no chance. They
let
you think you're winning all the way to the end, and then combos up, fatality. It's Mortal Kombat.
And then if you didn't win there, they get mad.
Or they'll give you the controller and unplug it and pretend like you're winning ones. I think we've all done that, even as uncles ourselves.
It was my kids. But these kids are sharp these days because these 3-year-olds like, nah, I'm just saying working, G.
Bro. Can't even spell, look, but can blooming work the internet.
I know. Fucking hearty. So Mega Drives in it. What about did you sometimes you go to the town or in there? Did you go for a bit of a spacey jam? Those
a little bit. Obviously, blooming, if you had a little bit of money, you could work it. And I sort of came, both of us, same age, came in when 20-cent games were still a thing. And then 50-cent ones were the expensive ones. It was before the gold coin games, and then
fucking gold coin there.
All my favorite arcade games were do you remember that game Raiden, bro? It was like a top-down shooter. You're like a ship, and it was those ones where you get power-ups as ships and your top bird's eye view, and you have to like shoot all those other ships.
Oh yes, I do think Raiden, I remember that one. Yes, okay.
I think part of it I liked was just it was hard. I like the leveling up, bro. When you get all those power-ups and all that. Bro.
Oh, okay.
Feast for the eyes, but end up dying all the time because of the million bullets flying across the screen. Bro, Metal Slug. I don't know if you remember Metal Slug. Bro, that was one of my favorites.
Did you like that? Was there a lot more strategy behind that game? With the better one? The better
I think so, bro. With Raiden. Yeah, I think so, because there was because like all the levels were exactly the same way. So if you had memorized how the bosses and all that attacked you, you could sort of maneuver your way through, but didn't have enough money, bro, to get to that point where I could memorize.
Memorize it,
there was no chance of getting that far, bro.
The struggles there. Struggles, cuz. No, good now, brother. Those are some mean days, brother. Very nostalgic even for myself. Hearing those corridors of my cousin. But even when it comes to drawing, when did you start drawing like I guess Maori drawings or our patterns, our design?
Probably my the earliest one I can think of, bro, that I had done for myself was in year 9, so third form at Rotorua Boys. I went to Rotorua Boys for my first 2 years of high school. Yeah, bro, Rotorua. and I did a Tāne Mahuta, bro, and it was practically an exact rip-off of the Spawn image, bro. Remember Spawn?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
this
yes,
there's
yeah.
this picture of Spawn, bro, and he's got these angel wings, and he's sort of standing, looking up, and there's like a sun rays behind him. So I did that pose, but I made him Tāne Mahuta, you know, taiaha in his hand, and
Oh, true.
his legs sort of turned into tree trunks, and that was inspired from this drawing my dad had done very long before we came along, of some atua Maori, and he had this Tāne Mahuta and a bunch of other atua
Yeah.
Maori, but that was the main inspiration for that one. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So probably that one's my earliest memory. I'm sure I would have done some other ones as a kid,
But that's the
but they
like one
mustn't
that
have
stands
been.
out, eh?
Yeah, they
That's the
mustn't
one
have been
that's
vivid enough,
freaking
bro, for me to remember.
hearty, brother. When you're drawing stuff like, bro, I'm not a drawer, cuz like, you know, I'll just talk shit there. That's what I'm good at.
Bro, there's an art to that. There's an art to that.
That's what I just talk kaka, yeah? Make people laugh. That's all I'm good at.
That's why they
cuz.
say
No,
gift of the gab, bro. There's no sayings if it doesn't exist.
yeah, no, yeah, so yeah, like yeah, when it comes to drawing in there, cuzzy, like nah, I can like more than that, like I can envision things with like, you know, business and all those kinds of things, think of
Mm.
like ways to even problem solving. But when it comes to drawing, cuzzy, I don't got it, cuz like you either got it or you don't. Tell you, I reckon, like you can obviously hone your skills, but like, I'll look at something, I'll be like, how the fuck did you think of that? Like to make that
Yeah.
from there. I'm like, is the I don't know if they like let's say there's a young fellow or even someone that's not even young, but they've always had it. They just never actually picked the pen up and did it, or the pencil up and did it. Like, what do you sort of see when you're back in those days, or any time when you're going to draw? Is it all just there, or does it just come as you go?
Yeah, bro. No, it's there. And actually, this is a good thing that you bring up, because I've actually never sort of thought about it in this way and articulated it in this way. But it's there, bro. So how I like to think of it is you have like a vocab of imagery in your mind, and from that vocab of imagery you have in your mind, you sort of get these ideas to create artwork. And how that vocab gets there in the first place, bro, is just from consuming. So like as a kid
Okay.
growing up, bro, used to consume my dad's artwork, and he used to have comics around too. Even some of these like fantasy art books and stuff, and even just the stuff he would show me, bro, other artists. So that was me building my vocab of imagery in my mind.
Oh,
And I
okay.
can't say anything about how to develop
Yeah.
like a mind that naturally saves that vocab. So for me, I was lucky, like I naturally was fascinated by these things, so I could save it. Maybe that's it, bro.
Okay.
Find what you naturally are attracted to, and your brain can save it. And then from
Yeah.
that, bro, all of these ideas come, and the ideas, they may seem original, they may be original, you know, but really, bro, they just are original because they're a combination of all of these other things that may not have gone together in the first place, bro.
Inspired
You know
by
what I
many
mean?
things, eh?
Inspired by many things, bro, and then a new
Yeah.
thing comes out of it.
Wow. So, now, and I also ask that question, not for other people. My son is like amazing. He's only 7, brother. But
Me?
like the things he draws, bear, I'm like, but fucking hell, I struggle to draw a stick man. Gee, holy frick, how do you draw that? But like not in a like down buzz way. Like I want to help him, brother. Like you know, if I
Yeah,
can
me.
help him enhance that, cause
Yeah,
he's
brother.
like even you talk about comic books, bro. The bro
Mm-mm.
draws his own comic books with like bubbles and like all these things and pages, brother. He's out the
Straight
gate,
up.
brother. Loves it.
Doing the
Yeah,
stories
brother.
with them too.
Yeah, hard. And
Bro,
I'm
that's mean.
like obviously his one's a lot. He's only young, so a lot of his is he's copying the stories he's like he's reading or he's like looking at.
That's mean,
But
bro.
like trying to without obviously telling him what to do because it's his thing. But like trying to go, son, like what do you like trying to give him ideas of like how do you create your own comic book and then we can put that
Yeah,
on bloody
mean.
TikTok way, you know, or whatever, you know, for
Straight
yourself.
up, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I
mean,
don't know.
bro,
So
because
that's why.
he's sorry to cut you
Yep.
off, my bro, but
No,
you've
go
just
hard.
brought up another good point, bro. You brought
Go
up
hard,
another good
cuzzy.
point, which is how I learned anyway at high school how to
Yep.
develop your own style, and this I'll make this make sense soon. How to develop your own style from one of my teachers is you get a bunch of artist models, and those listening, an artist model is pretty much somebody that you take inspiration from, whose artwork that you like. So let's say you had 3 artist models, bro, and they all did different styles, and then the artwork you create at the start of your art board is heavily influenced by theirs. So for example, if it was Banksy, you know, his stuff is all stencils and stuff. So let's say you create some artwork that's very stencil heavy that looks practically exactly like his, and then you do another artist, so on and so forth. And then the whole purpose of that, bro, is so you kind of get an idea of maybe they're thinking about how they created their work, and you go, oh, that's
Mm.
interesting. I noticed that when I made this, a stencil that's made in this way is probably easier than making it that other way. Okay, so I've got that learning, save it onto the
Okay.
next artist, and you sort of combine them, bro, and you make your own style. So what your young fella's doing, bro, like just directly copying, is he's
Yeah.
gonna sort of, whether he knows it or not, bro, he's gonna learn about how story is sort of made up. So he might notice, but he might go, oh, I notice every time at the start of these books that I'm reading, or these comics, they establish, I say establish just so we understand, but
Yeah.
for him, they'll be like, oh, they sort of like set up like a conflict. You know, he doesn't know
Yeah.
what a conflict, but they set up like this thing that's going to happen. And then at the end, this thing that was at the start gets sorted out and it gets resolved. So he doesn't know what's
Mm.
happening right now, but
Oh, the art
later
of the
on, bro,
storytelling.
later on he might
Yeah.
pick up just naturally from that. He goes, might know how to write a story, bro, and he might not know
Yeah.
why he knows, but through doing all of that stuff, bro, like directly copying,
Yeah.
some of that stuff is sticking in there, bro.
Yeah.
And what you're doing, like sort of encouraging him all that, is sort of gonna, you might be able to help him realize that, and he might be able to be a bit more, he might be able to understand why the way that he looks at things makes sense to him. You know, he might
Yeah.
think it's just all an accident. I don't know what I'm up to, and you might be able to help him make sense. Like, this is why it makes sense to you. It's because you did this and this and this. And
Oh,
then he
just
might be
connect
able
the
to go,
dots.
oh,
Help,
yeah, bro,
help
connect
them
the dots,
connect the
bro.
dots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I hope
because
that makes
that's the
sense, brother.
thing. No, that does, because and I think that's important, because like as it's important, Jim, for any parents or aunties or uncles out there, they
Mhm.
might be even maybe they are affing the or helping their little ones that are
Mm.
like, because I tell you now, because like one of my uncles' brother, he's probably the best drawer I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like still to this day, my dad's little brother. Ganji, but then my son G, I reckon he's coming for the title, you know. My son's he's only young, bro, but that's a weapon. And like he'll sit there and like you said about like you could play species or be out there, and obviously species wasn't always an option because
Mm.
you know you didn't have it available all the time, readily available. With the bro, with my son, bro, he'll sit there for like a whole day and just like those whole A4 bloody sheets of paper, he'll just go through like a whole 1G just drawing and that. He
Man,
loves
bro.
it, G.
Man.
Yeah. So like that's for me, you know, and I guess his mother is trying to figure out ways to enhance that, because they're not, you know,
Yes,
not
my
kill
bro.
that.
That's the one.
Mm.
Nah, you fellas got it, brother. That's the one.
No, thank you, there, my brother. These are some
Mm.
gems. Yeah. Oh, there we go. You killed her. And you're right here. Like it's that story, like because he doesn't understand like exactly how the stories are put together yet. But once he does, then he can start to branch off and create his own. Because he does create his own imagery inside of the storyline that's written. Like, you know, but he creates his own imagery. Just the bubbles are a lot of the times as what is in the other books, but he draws it a different way. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, my bro. Yes.
wow, interesting, Marcus. Did you do
Bro.
it? So you did some of that stuff or nah? Comics or ni?
When I was little, not when I was little. I used to just, bro, one of my favorite things to draw when I was young was like muscle men, because obviously that's what my dad used to draw and he used to show me as well.
Oh,
And
okay.
bro, that's no surprise that I like drawing the stuff that I like drawing these days, you know, like anatomy and all that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I sort of grew up looking at and was fascinated by. Bro, and there's this drawing that I done in our shed, bro,
Yeah.
back home, and it was vivid, bro, vivid on the wall in the shed. There used to be these drawings in there, and it was this fella, this muscle man, bro, and his arms were coming out of his ribs, bro. I didn't understand arms come from your shoulders, all of that, bro. And it was just,
Yeah.
you know, the bumps for muscles like we all used to do, bro. And then
Yeah.
he had like
I've done those ones.
he had 5 we all done those ones, bro. He had some Nikes on and some ripped denim shorts, look like the Hulk, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, bro, so like no comics though. I think because I would get bored easy, bro, and I wouldn't usually like drawing the same thing over and over and over again, which is what comics is, eh?
Yeah, a lot of those, especially when they
Bro. So I
the whole
tip my hat to
series.
your young fella.
Yeah, that's all I see. Noticing in like the repetition, brother. That he does like he'll just go, and then if one thing's off, but he's rubbish. Go get another one.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Yeah,
And then he gets mad about it, and I'm like, "That's all right, my son." And he's like, "He's off it.
That's
He's off it.
That's not.
That's not." And then as me not being an artist, I don't understand that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, it is what it is."
Like,
There you go. On to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah. When I see, especially when you see the emotion that he gets, of like, fuck, the boy really cares about this here. Like the boy like drew one thing wrong and he's off there. Oh,
Yeah.
Especially if it's
Yeah.
not in pencil and you can't rub it out. It's
It's like,
yeah,
yeah, nah, not gonna
I
carry on.
know.
Start a new one.
Yeah. Or he'll start a new one and give it
Yeah.
another crack.
Wow, that's mean,
Yeah.
bro. That's mean.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like I said, I'm not that artsy in that way. Just artsy with my waka. That's about it. That's about it. Because yeah, like I used to try, write something. I used to fucking try rapping all that when I was a kid. Is a lot of people
Wow,
do.
that's not, bro.
You know what I mean? All those ones. But that was my sort of escape when I was a
Yeah.
child. Like I again, like growing up, kura kaupapa, and then all that kind of stuff. Not really speaking English very well, and then having to
Yeah.
go to like kuras where you have to speak English,
Yeah, brother.
and
Yeah.
then learning about rapper bits, and then learning you can make your own ones. Start Cat in the
Yeah.
Hat, of course, but hopefully progress past that.
Yeah.
But that was sort of me. So yeah, I don't really understand that side of it. But cool. It's cool to hear from you as a 30 plus year old artist that's still doing his
Kia ora,
thing.
brother.
Mean brother. So we talked about obviously the upbringing, the influences. How do you get into the tattooing side, cuz?
My dad again, my bro. So he there
Heavy
was this
influence,
this moko wānanga they had, bro, back in Waimana at one of our local marae, Tanatana. And I think don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure, bro, the fellas who ran it or who were like sort of the ones who were heading it were fellas from here, bro, in Tauranga.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the Moana Moko boys, and through them and some other influences too. I think one of them, including one of the uncles, my old man got into it, bro, at this wānanga, and I want to say it was
Okay.
probably about 2003, maybe
Oh, yeah. Well,
2004 or
20
something
years
like
ago.
that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got into it, and then naturally, bro, I ended up getting into it. I ended up doing some moko on his younger sister, on my auntie, on her birthday, and I think it was her 30th birthday. She told me, and this was back in 2006, my cousin. And
Oh, true.
yeah, bro. And before that, bro, I had no idea I wanted to do it. Like it was just something that Dad did, and we were around sometimes stretching for him, and didn't like stretching, bro. It was freaking boring. And then you were still young, bro. I was only had just turned 15, like a month before that, I think. And bro, you do one, bro, and all the cousins and all the bros think you're a tattoo artist, and they want one, bro, even though you're still shit ass.
Yeah, but shout out to that because you got to learn the craft there.
Bro, exactly, bro. Stepping stones. And my auntie knew that it wasn't gonna be good, bro, but she cared more about it coming from me and about
From
it
you.
being my first. So I
Yeah.
would say, bro, yeah, she probably had I don't know if she did exactly, I can't quote her, but I feel like she might have had an idea of what I could have become in that space. My dad definitely knew, bro. My parents actually, and here I am now, bro, still going.
It's cool. She
Almost
offered up
18
her
years
kitty
later.
for you, brother.
Yeah,
Offered her
exactly,
kitty
brother.
up for you to give a jam. No, that's
Yeah.
cool, brother. So that's yeah, a little while ago now. So, but then when do you start to pick it up like full time, or was it from then? You just
Nah,
falling
bro.
in with it?
Because I was still a teenager, and
Yeah.
teenagers want to do teenage things. You think about
Like
girls, and straight to the point, my bro. But I was young and shy and awkward, bro. So I was fascinated by girls, but I wasn't outwardly expressing it, and
okay.
so I was just a shy fella and hoped that somehow I'd get a girlfriend, that sort of stuff. So I was worrying more about that, bro, and trying to be liked, I suppose, bro, at school, and less about doing moko and tattooing. It wasn't until I had left, high school, and then I really took it seriously. Probably 2011, bro, I'll say, was the year that I really took it seriously.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, my bro.
it's been like 5 years by then.
Yeah.
6 years of like
Exactly.
having a tutu.
Yeah. Teenage years were for being a teenager.
Yeah. Well, at least you got the experience there, brother, no Michael Jackson there. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly, my brother.
Yeah, the experience being growing up and having that's I think that's vital, cuz too, to go and just experience,
Yeah, 100%.
Some people will be like, "Oh, I wish I knew everything I knew when I was like this and that."
We all say that,
but then
bro.
you probably wouldn't have that perspective you have now. So you know what I mean?
100%,
the person you are.
100%. And it's no use, bro, thinking back like that, because you can't do anything
you
about
can't go back here.
It's wasting your time.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, my cousin.
Except to carry on.
I know. That's right, brother. accept the things you can, you cannot change it, and blah blah blah, whatever their bloody
Yeah, exactly,
quote
my
is
bro.
there
Yeah.
from all the with that all the junkies, reverse junkies use to the cousins. Good on ya. Too much, no judgment either. Oh goody.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No. Father, I just think like I've always because bro, I've got none cuz I'm clean skin. I don't got one tattoo cousin at all.
Ah, true.
Which I know is very rare, especially for Maori, and even our ages too. Like
Straight
everybody I
up.
know got one cuz.
Yeah.
Well, one of the Whanongas was a bit of a bit of an artist too, but I was going to get him to jam it, but he passed on, and then
Oh.
what happened too, because I ended up going to high school over here in Aussie, and then I seen like heaps of fellas like and shout out to the cousins, but a few the Punjabi brothers, I seen a few of those brothers have
Yeah, bro, they love it, bro.
moko and all these
They
others. I
love
was
it.
like, for me, like at the time, I was like, stuff that out. I don't want to be a sheep. That's what I thought in my head. Like as I've gotten older and like now that I have tamariki and that, like I think I definitely probably will, get some. And then I'm even looking at your stuff because so I was thinking, whenever I'm in those ways, if you're free, obviously none of these like trying to get a cheap deal, but pay your homies fucking what they're worth. If you want to pay Nike for a t-shirt, buy your homies t-shirt for the full price, you bastards.
100%, my bro. Total.
Actual, because I
Hey.
was talking to your brother too, and I was like, because I was thinking about getting a bit of an avatar here, brother, like giving one of those last airbenders on my dome, but one of those, just one of those head like, do you do those ones, cuzzy, or what?
Well, I will do that, bro. I'll do a bit of all sorts, but then
Well,
you end
whoever
up
called it
looking like the
all
Kazi Stan.
Yeah, no, not stand up in my own. Surely, I'm sure the Kazi Te Haunui, the artist, you can draw some muscles on it or something. No, make it different. You're not even for the stand now, just for the bloody hairline, cuz. That's all.
Oh, let's not talk about hairlines, my cuz.
Oh yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'm on the way, my cousin. I'm on the way. I'm on it. That is what it is, cuzzy. That's it. Yeah. My old man now.
My face, my bro.
Oh yes, solid. my old man reckons he told me back in the days. He goes, "Oh yeah, just because he started going bolder, he was drinking all this stuff." And then he reckons, "Oh, the Egyptians used to drink this." And I was like, "How fuck were you around when they were drinking that shit out?" What do you reckon? And then he reckons, "Nah, it's gonna stop me from going bold now." See me a couple years later, how'd that Egyptian stuff go? Nah, no good, my bro. This my old man.
Oh,
Just embrace it, cuz just embrace it.
Just unless you want to go to Turkey and get some transplants.
But even those though, because like fuck, does they just take your hair follicles from somewhere else or
Elsewhere,
whatever?
right? From elsewhere, yeah.
So what happens later? Are they gonna fall out too, or what? You know what I mean?
I have
Like,
no idea, my cousin. Gutsing if so.
Yeah. Nah, fucking even LeBron now. LeBron, I don't know if you know much basketball, but LeBron tries to hide his all the time. Very embrace it, cuzzy. You're worth
Be like
$100
The Rock,
billion.
right?
Who cares?
Shave it off.
Yeah, 100. Be my cuz. Hey, you start 2011. You start getting serious. Where are you at this time in your life?
I'm in Hamilton at that time, my cousin. I moved to Hamilton at the start of that year, 2011, because I went to Wintec to study art. And there was a 3-year degree, so 2011 to 13. And one of the bros, actually, that I went to school with, his uncle worked at the shop in Hamilton. And he goes, "Oh, bro, you should hit my uncle up, see if you can work in the shop." I was like, "Oh, yep." And then I just sent I don't know if I sent a message, bro, if I just went in and just took my laptop with some of my best mahi on it. And I met one of the fellas in there, bro, because it was co-owned. This fella, Vinny and Mark. And Mark wasn't there that day, but the other fella, Vinny, was there. And I was saying, "Oh, I can't remember exactly what I said, bro. Pretty much just say, "Oh, I do tattoos and do moko and stuff. My name is Te Haunui, blah, blah, blah." And my mate's uncle worked here. Just thought I would just come in and just show my work. And I showed him my work, bro, and he was impressed and liked it. And he goes, "Oh, you're looking for a job, cuz?" I was like, yeah, if you fellas have space. And he goes, "Come back in when Mark is in there," which was like the next day or something like that. And then went in and then had a little cordial with them and sort of explained that I was there to study full time, but to work in the tattoo shop as well, just hopefully get some boot out, bro. Because at that point, I hadn't built up a reputation around my tattooing and moko outside of my own rohe, bro. Outside of sort of like the Whakatane area. Yeah, bro. So in Hamilton, I was you know, a small fish, bro, in a big ocean. So I thought, okay, tattoo shop
Well,
already
let's be
established,
honest,
you know.
cause a big river.
Yeah, a big river, my cuz, a big
Awa.
river. The big river. And then it was exactly what I needed, actually, my bro, because
Yeah,
I was around all of these artists who were professionals doing this mahi that I wanted to get
yeah.
better at. And it's exactly that saying that people say, you know, surround yourself
Iron
by people who
sharpens
are
iron.
better than you know, my bro. And I had to level up. And it didn't feel like, oh, I'm scared, like I have to level up, otherwise, you know, I'm shit. You know, it was like inspired to level up. It's just like, wow, look at
Yeah,
all the fuss that the stuff that
that's
these
the
fellas are
way, my
doing.
brother.
Yeah,
That's
my
how you
bro.
should be.
Yeah,
Is that part of the tall poppy syndrome that like that exists? When you like, oh, when people be like that, like what is that?
yeah.
Like
I'm sure
imposter syndrome?
that's probably
Because
can play a factor in it, my bro.
yeah,
And
because it's ratchet, that people
it is
feel like
ratchet,
that,
my
like
bro.
oh, like
Yeah,
hey, you know
because
what I
even
mean? Like
like
you said, you're in a mean place
yeah,
to learn
exactly,
and
my
grow.
bro. And like just talking on that sort of thread, bro, it's like with even like our own people, you know, growing up, I'm sure we've all heard this. Ah, what a try hard, you
Oh,
know. And yeah,
always,
I never personally had anyone
still,
say that to me, but
still,
I've heard it, yeah, bro, even now, my bro.
yeah,
But you
look at
know, it
it.
felt like there was a time when you heard people say it all the time. And then like I think back to that now and even think about people who say that now, it's just like, yeah. Like to quote, not quote, but sort of paraphrase what ASAP Rocky said about being a tryhard is like, why would you not want to be a tryhard? You know, if you think about it literally, like trying hard, why
Yeah,
would you laugh at that? Why would you think that that's an out of it thing to do or an out of it person to be? You know, because you're too scared, bro. Too
but
scared
that's
of
what it is
stepping
now, because
outside of the
it's the
box that
autake,
we've
yeah. Aye,
often put
aye.
ourselves in, bro.
Yes, brother. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fear. It's that like they can't be what they can't see, and if they've never seen
Mm,
it, or you know what I mean, sort of a thing. Especially if you can see if stepping out of their
yep.
box, and people are like we're so conditioned like by everything from fucking
100%.
school, brother. You're taught to sit down, shut up, put your hand up if you want to talk. Like the whole Rockefeller system that was created to make robots to work in factories, brother. You're taught to stay in that system, and then if you try and think outside of that or break out of
Mm,
that, hey, come back here. And it's not even the system. Well, it is the system because the system is working by the people that have been conditioned by the system trying to pull you back in. You know what I mean? If you're an outlier, or that's why
mm,
fucking, I don't know what the exact statistic is, but let's just throw a fucking random number out here and someone can say that's rubbish. But 90%
yeah.
or fucking, self-made, or entrepreneurs and not billionaires and millionaires that, like, I'm talking about make it from the dirt and like
Yeah.
actually,
Proper
build it from there. I'm not talking
ground
about
up.
like, dad gave them money or whatever, like literally made it from the dirt. That's why most of them don't finish school, brother, because like all of that
Mm,
shit culls free thought and all of that stuff a lot of the time. Obviously, some people are outliers and can break through that, but
yeah, yeah.
it
There's always
makes
gonna be
sense,
those
brother.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like even yourself, you went to fucking what's it called, Twintic or whatever as well.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
That
yeah.
that doesn't stop you from still being a free thinker and still chasing it. But like,
Yeah, bro.
yeah, I understand
Yeah,
why it happens. In
yeah,
it's shit there, like it's shit.
yeah.
Because like we should be. It's like Izzy said. Remember Izzy said on that Halberg
Yeah,
speech,
bro.
like
Yeah.
we need to fucking
When he
pump our
won that
people
award,
up,
bro.
bro. When
Yeah,
the fucking black cap, whatever, when the silver ferns pump them up.
we all win. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed, because I don't know if you know much about TikTok or like I used to do or like I done a ride over there. Not gonna fucking not for like tooting the horn, just being honest,
Mm.
but they're like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got number 1 over there in the rankings and all the rankings, like
Mm.
which is for people that are in that world, that's a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only
Yep.
2 other Maori that got it, and Kazi Tricks is one of them who has a huge
Yeah.
platform. I don't have a fucking huge platform. I just
Yeah.
talk tickle, that's all. But and just have fun. And obviously
Yeah,
people
yeah.
vibe with it. But the biggest haters I had on there were our own people, brother. Saying they again try
Sad, eh, bro?
hard or like too, yeah. And like I love our
Eat
people. I love
ass, all of those sort of things, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
like only because you want to be doing what I'm doing, but then you're not putting in the hours or willing to do the mahi that I'm doing. So shut your lips.
That's the thing,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, we're good at projecting, eh, my bro? Projecting our
I
own
know.
mamai on others and think that you're talking about them, but you're talking about yourself.
Mm. I wonder.
Hey.
I wonder what like the bigger. What's the biggest? I wonder what the biggest catalyst is for that happening. As a lot of it, like people talk about intergenerational, whatever. Is some
Mm.
of it from colonization being told, like being under the thumb? I don't know. I'm just fucking
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
to it.
bro.
I
Yeah,
wonder.
that's one of those ones, yeah. Without blooming going fully deep into doing all the rangahau for all of that stuff, you can only speculate, and I'm not one of those
Yeah,
fellas
it's
who
all
likes to
speculation.
speculate.
Yeah, I'll speculate hard because people be like,
You can speculate for us, my bro.
yeah, they'd be like, is that gospel? Or first of all, I don't believe in the gospel.
I really that one. So you've lost me.
Yeah. So like, I don't believe in the gospel. Like, oh, this is this is another. And shout out to because a lot of people I have on here, a lot of football players in it, obviously big on that and brought up on that, and especially our island brothers. And that's Kate's point. I don't believe whatever you want to believe. For me, I don't know, and I wanted to get into this because it does say on your. I do read your Instagram. I don't know if everyone reads it, but it does say atheist.
Bro,
My
they
cousin.
don't. No one bloody reads these days. Bro.
Well, I read it anyway, my cousin. I read it. I was one of a few that read it. And I see atheist. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then also into Atua Maori drawings. That's that's interesting.
How about that?
How about that? But it's cool. It's not oh, look at this idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be the flip
like,
of a lot of stuff you're talking about. Yeah,
Random.
I think so. But for me, I don't really vibe with that because, like, the way I see it is like the doctrine of discovery was used to go, if this nation isn't a Christian nation, you can invade it and take over, and they people don't really exist. They're not really humans, and or here in Ahitareria, the land was terranalius, meaning like, blah 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 blah. But for me, they took our stuff away. Like, whether do I really believe like in Tāne Maui to the depths of my soul? Well, probably not. Do I think Maui actually stopped the fucking sun? No, I don't. But like at the same time, for me, I'd rather acknowledge those things because those are ours. You know what I mean? They're trying to take them away and give us some hairy fella from the middle of the fucking east. You know what I mean? And shout out to the bros that believe there, cousin, but that's just not me.
Not my bros. They're being put to them to what they know, and so are we.
Yeah. So what about you, brother? How does the atheist come about? We'll go into all
my bro. Well. So I'll go back to this. I was 7th form, so 2009. When I was doing one of our local Dancing with the Stars things, and it was at practice, and my dance partner, she just out of nowhere, bro, just goes, "Oh, do you believe in God?" And I said, "I don't know." And I was kind of like taken aback, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, random." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And I sort of like, without knowing it, bro, it sort of sat there, and I was like, "Fuck, do I?" Like for years, and I was like, it's not for me anyway, bro, because I'm growing up, bro, the most shy, timid, sort of passive, like kind of, like this, bro. This is sort of like the visual representation of how I sort of felt growing up, bro. Don't want to be too loud, bro. It just I just didn't believe, bro. It just felt too dishonest of me to say yes when I don't believe in God. You know what I mean? And so I sort of had a wānanga with myself about that. Not a conscious wānanga, but sort of every now and then just think about it and be like, "Wow, nah, maybe I don't." And then I've been drawing Atua Maori since I was a little, so I've already talked about that with my old man and all that. And then just went around and just learned, bro, listened to people speak about different things around being believers and some who ain't believers, and without being conscious of it, sort of hearing stories from all sides, and sort of got into listening to debates, bro. And it's like, far out, this makes sense. This makes sense to me, my bro. And
good debate.
Yeah, bro. So it just made it felt like what my understanding based off my own life's experience, bro, sounded like the truth to me. And part of that truth about being an atheist is not knowing. Like, if you want to be technical, bro, agnostic, which is don't know, but no proof of it. So
I'm not going to. Are you more agnostic than atheist, probably?
Yeah, bro. Because from what I've learned,
yeah,
bro. Yeah, because from
what
someone
told me that, I was like, "Yeah, what does that mean?" Like, "Oh, like," I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like me."
No way.
What's your religion? No, I'm agnostic.
No, some people will be like,
and that's it. Like, you just sort of came to that conclusion after wānangas with yourself and listening to different things.
Yeah.
And that's me too, cuz same. Like when it comes to that, because like I said, like because no, but we're the better. Like another thing is too, like I'd be confused because there's so many different denominations of of just about all religions, but especially in the our Arohi, is a lot of Christianity, different. Someone will say, oh. I'm Anglican, I'm not Catholic, so like this and that. And then so for me, my koro always used to tell me, like, if you wanna if you wanna know about something, go and learn like everything about, like, go to the root of everything that you wanna like actually get into or something. So I'd go and go, okay, so how does the Anglican church start? So I go back enough to, so there's fucking old, there's the bro Henry VIII that can't get his marriage annulled because this lady can't bear him children by the Pope. Pope says, no, not annulling your marriage. It's still official. He says, fuck you, Pope. Then I'm going to start my own religion, take a few of your stuff and call it the Church of England. And there's Anglican. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, it's just the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's the same thing, really. Like, and then the story goes on. Like, then you get to like a 14-year-old Joseph Smith who apparently fucking some angel came from the sky, and fucking who's listening to a 14-year-old? I don't know. It's like all of that shit. But when I start to because a lot of times, especially if you're born into it, you don't question it because that's all you know. It's your,
you don't know that questioning it is even an option.
Yeah. Whereas us, like, I think, and I seen somebody talk about this, and he talked about, and I like to quote it all about the Pacific and how a lot of the different Pacific people are gifting back to each other. Like, we kept certain things. Have you seen that quote at all, brother?
No. Who's this?
I don't even know who the bro was. I just seen it on the old TikToks. And the bro was talking about how us as Pacifica people, we all kept different things, like the Samoans kept the tatau, which and they gifted it back to all these things, and it was all different things. It was I think the kanikanis for our Cook Island brothers. I think that's what it was. And then for us it was a tikanga void of religion. And then I thought, well, yeah, actually, because you think about it, like, if you go to the islands, and I've been to a few when I was a bit younger, played a little bit of football, and bro, I was just shocked. Like, I knew, like, my whanongas, they were Tongan Samoan. Like, I knew that, like, that the church was a big part of there, but I didn't realize, like, bro, they're everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, when you go there, it's like you're in Rome, and when you go to Rome, I don't know if you've been, and then everywhere you go in Rome, all the old pagan buildings, they have crosses on top of them to they're all over the place. But I was like, to get rid of all the pagan ones. Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, no, because so for me, that's the thing too. It's like, basically agnostic, or But when you say atheist, I thought, oh, the bro's Ricky Gervais sound like.
Bro, and I know that kōrero you're talking about too. Yeah. But it's more of like what is it? What do I say? Because most people don't even know what agnostic is, bro. It's sort of like everyone's heard of atheist, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why.
You're right there. They're agnostic, because I was only a few years ago there, someone explained it to me, then I was like, oh yeah, that's probably that's the one. Because I used to go on the atheist vibe too, but then they were like, don't you believe? I was like, oh, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Therefore, I don't believe. Well, that's me anyway.
Yeah. You can lean on your own understanding.
Happy to be proven wrong if you just show me.
And
not tell me, which is what is it called? Anecdotal evidence.
Anecdotal evidence.
Come on, man. Anyone can tell anyone anything.
Yeah, if I can question it, and you can get to a point where you can't answer the question, you know what I mean? And it's
especially if you're making a statement about something,
Yeah,
you're saying
this you've got to, well, you just got to have faith. Oh, nah.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Oh, no. I've had faith in the Warriors for 25, 30 years, cuss. Still got that faith.
Turn into a believer after they win.
Yeah, that's it. Still got the faith.
Proof.
That's the
championship proof.
Yeah, I don't think I can have any more faith answers than the Warriors. That's it. You don't go any league or anything, cuz?
Nah. To be honest, my cousin, I just started watching like the third game I think I ever watched. First game actually. First full game I ever watched was the grand final last year.
Oh, gee, yeah, that was a good game too.
No, sorry, I lied. It was second game.
In your life?
In my life? Yeah, I've never been into it, my cousin.
Oh, true.
Never. It's just not my cup of tea.
Your brother's into it.
Yeah, that's him though. Yeah, because I was a suffer like growing up. Like I was always scared of getting hurt and all of that. So maybe that's part of the reason I stuck to my books and drawing and all of that, my bro. Can't get hurt from anyone in your pages,
Yeah. No, me. Solid. Yes. So you jam in the Waikato. How long are you there for? And what kind of
3
learning
years.
did you take out of it? Oh, a lot of
So
learnings.
from
The
one
next
tick,
3 years.
probably the biggest lesson, or one of the biggest lessons I took away from it, bro, was just a different understanding of art in general. And it was pretty much in a nutshell that art is whatever you say it is. So like an example could be, I could take a screenshot of this.
Yeah.
And if, bro, actually, being an artist, bro, is being a good bullshitter. So heaps of people that have sort of, how do you say it? Heaps of people who have won art awards, bro, good bullshitters, I reckon. Because they know they have the gift of the gab, bro. They know how to explain every little mark in this thing, and then the people who are listening will be like, amazing, bro. And bro, to be honest, my bro, like sometimes I think about that, people like that, I'm like, nah, all shit. And then sometimes, bro, I'm that fella, and it's fun, bro.
Yeah,
It's fun, bro, to have a bit of
a
bullshit, you know.
Yeah. Is it conflicting, or you like, it is what it is?
It is what it is, my bro. Because it's not that serious. People can take it pretty serious, bro. And I can sort of weave in and out of being serious in that sort of space, you know. But like, I think about it, bro, in the grand scheme, bro, it's like, it's not that important. Like, not as important as people who save lives, people who feed people, you know, all of that stuff, bro. It's like, once all those things are met, then this thing can be important to you because those things are met. You know, and I have no bro, I have no, what is it called? Misunderstandings of its significance and insignificance at the same time, bro.
At the same time, yeah. But your art itself, though, has it been around the world, any of it, or
bro? No, actually, when I was young, bro, my dad, he entered me in art competition stuff. One of them was for the Olympics, bro. The New Zealand Olympic Committee, they did this competition, and my piece won it, and that was for Athens 2004. So that was my last year of primary school. And then my artwork went over to Athens to be displayed in the Olympic Village. I'm not too sure if it was just for the Kiwis or if it was for everyone.
You got a picture of it, or they like are in your?
I don't. There's probably one online somewhere, bro, but I don't have one anywhere saved. But
what would I have to look up to?
Probably, actually, it was in the news. It was in the newspaper.
Put on the thing if we could.
Yeah, it was in the newspaper, so you could probably just Google it, bro. Te Haunui
Olympic. Go Google it if you're watching now.
It was 2004, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah,
that's pretty
other
cool.
Than that, bro,
did you get a wicket for it, or just free competition?
Nah, I just got actually, no, I lie. I got a contract to do another one for the Winter Olympics, and then I think I got paid for that one. Yeah. I can't even remember how much it was.
Oh, solid.
Yeah,
and money anyway. No.
That probably, if that money came to me, I would have went straight on games.
Oh, yeah, solid. Yeah. Been playing that. Was it Raiden?
Yeah, the arcade ones.
Yeah. We're gonna go get a new console.
Oh, bro, straight away, immediately is what I would have done. Either that or remote control cars.
Oh, solid. Yeah. You still jam those or nah?
Nah, not at all. Grew up. Nah. No shots at anyone who's into that. Whatever you're into, go hard, man. Go hard.
Some cousins say 50 years old, I'm still jamming. That's your
That's mean, bro. And I always say this too. Whenever I see people, not necessarily like those specific people, but anyone, bro, who I can see they're like fired up by whatever they're doing, bro, regardless of what it is. I'm like, that's what everyone's looking for. Everyone's looking for that. They're looking for something to care about that much that they want to do it like that.
Yeah,
if it's racing trains, if it's reading books, if it's making movies, whatever, bro.
Podcasting, because that's it for
me. Podcasting, exactly, because streaming.
A 5-year journey, because like for me to actually, I've been listening to podcasts for like 12 years, but this has been a 5-year intention in my mind to create. So it's been good. Yeah, brother. So
what everyone's looking for.
I'm golden grey, but it's mean hearing people's stories, talking about my own shit. Oh, dread. Yeah, and then still get hated on now. Oh, because I put out like, started like getting like different, people on, and some, I guess players and musicians, and people like, oh, you think you're cool? Like, yeah, I'm still the same person. Like, what do you mean?
I can tell by the way I communicate with everyone. The same.
Hey, I'm still talking to you.
Yeah. They're kissing anyone's asses. or shit on other people. It's like, no,
Yeah,
they're all
nah,
the same. Yeah.
that's it, my brother.
Yeah.
I like that one. What you see, that's what everyone's looking for. Whatever that is,
Yeah.
that feeling, everyone's chasing that in life.
Everyone's chasing that. It just looks different for everyone. You know, the form that it comes in looks different for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. That's right, brother. Like,
Yeah.
if someone buzzes out on wrestling toys and they're 60 years old, good on you, cuzzy. You know?
They've won, bro. In my eyes, you've won. You've won, bro. You've won life.
Yeah,
You
because I got a bro and the bro's like got all the wrestling memorabilia, like all the belts, and puts it in glass cases and then like this
See,
whole thing. He's old, brother, but like
that's what
he
gets him
loves it,
going.
cuz. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. That's what gets him
okay,
going.
probably when he closes the door, probably gets him going.
Yeah.
You know, cuz.
Your bro's going, this fella better not say my name.
Hell no, yeah. In the snitcher. You know who you is. So what about anywhere else, cuz? So did your other pieces go anywhere else in the world? Or?
No, not really, bro. Those are the main ones. I sent some prints over different places, but probably the biggest one, bro, is probably just the money that I've done on people's skin. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Like
So
like
that's
some, well, you got some significant, or knowing people
nah,
that you
not
see,
really.
or...
Just a bunch of people who travel, bro. Really,
Oh yeah.
some of our own who love to travel. So, especially with moko, bro, because it's so what do you call it? It's so striking, I suppose.
Yeah, and unique.
Especially for people from unique from other countries, they'll look at it and be like, "Oh, right, look at that!" Especially if it's like
Different.
a decent sized piece, And then
Yeah.
even more so, bro, if it's someone who's got their face done, there's no way you can sort of look away without sort of double taking. If you're someone who's seeing it for the first time, they'll be like, "Oh, whoa, what is that?"
What is that? Because like
What is that?
if it's, yeah, and you're right, brother. Like it is,
Yeah,
because that's the first thing people
stop people in
usually
their
take
tracks. I'm
notice of.
sure, my bro.
Yeah. Alright.
Mm.
Yeah. What's the biggest piece you've done, cuz? Like, have you done
Uh,
someone's whole fucking body, or
Probably,
most?
taurape, my cuz,
Yeah.
taurape or puhoro, as most people
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
On my wahine's uncle, one of her uncles, and at the time he was a big fella, bro, that comes like up to here and
Oof.
up his, bro, almost up to his traps on his back,
Yeah.
down to his knees, and he had a big guts, bro. And then since then, bro, he's had the staple, bro, and he's trimmed right down. And I remember saying, should have got that before, and we could have saved us a couple of days.
Gonna save some ink out.
Because those were some long ass days.
Yeah, how many days, cuz?
Bro, we did 6 days. First 3 days, and we started 9 a.m. all 6 of these days. First 3 days, we finished at about 8:30 p.m. Yeah, in a row. Finished about 8:30 p.m., 9ish. And then the last 3 days, we finished at 2:15 a.m., 2:30 a.m., 2:45 a.m. Cuz wrecked.
How does it go to? Because like I've seen have a little jam, but I haven't sat around the whole time for that buzz, bro. I'll just go get on the piss and I'll be back later, cuz.
See when you're
like,
done.
see when you're done. I'm not gonna sit there and fucking have a water with you for fucking 40 weeks, cuz I'm out here. I'll be back later.
I've got drinks to drink and games to play.
Yeah, that's it, because games to watch probably, or actually I don't know, just shit to learn. I like going to learn shit there, like just fucking
Because you're
listen to
one and not
podcasts
mine.
or whatever. Yeah. But like, so are you just the whole time, or you get a break? Cause like,
no, we have like a lunch break and maybe a dinner break sometimes. But sometimes it's you get into a zone and you lose track of time and you just go my cuz. And sometimes it's even better for the one getting done, my cuz, because when you break, your body sort of wants to settle. And then you come back from that break, the pain's gone back up again. So but long days. And to be honest, I can't do that anymore these days. I break it up into trips. So I make them come do a few days, go away, come back later on, like weeks or months later, and do some more. But I couldn't do those ones anymore. There's more to life. Nah.
But when you get into those flow states, cuz does it go pretty quick?
Yeah, it can, especially if things are working nice. They're sitting
Give
well.
Give an example of working nice, like.
Working nice
I don't got no fucking tattoos, but I'll say,
So working nice is machine and equipment is singing. Nothing going wrong with them. Energy wise, you feel good. Energy wise, the one who's getting done feels good, and they're like settled, and they're not like fighting. their way through it, you know. And
Or do you have
it's
a few of those
relaxing.
sometimes?
You have those, yeah, you have those, and that's hard, you know. For I'm sure there's some other kaita who can rein them in, but I really feel like for them if they're dying, you know. And I'm
True.
just like, you know, try and
What do you do? Cause do you just like, you want me to stop or
I
what is it?
sort of like, yeah, talk to them. I was like, you're doing mean, but I try and
Flip it.
remind them of how well they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, sort of
Or
how
not.
far they've come. Yeah, nah, that'll make you stop straight away. Like, we only got 2 days in.
Yeah, no. Oh,
Yeah,
true.
but sometimes, my cousin, you get there, and then like if you can really see them struggling, you pull the pin. Sometimes you get, nah, oh good, bro. We didn't have to finish it today. Can do it another time, because I don't want it to be just straight up torture. You know, you still want part of the experience to be something that you think of with fond memories, and not just think of it as a traumatic experience. You know?
Just like, they never want to fucking talk to you again. Now, you
Yeah,
bastard.
exactly. You know, and look at your legs as a reminder, like, that fella
Yeah.
was tough.
Yeah, okay.
Ripped me up.
So how often do you change like needles and all of that stuff?
Depending on how it goes, my cousin, and the time of the year, even summertime, sometimes the ink can dry up a bit faster, so you might have to change needles or give it a clean. But most of the time, never. Like one a day, because they come in like they're in packs, you know, sealed and sterilized.
Yeah.
So you just use one a day most of the time. You know,
sweet.
one per machine if you do that way. Or if you're using cartridge system with rotary machines, you use one cartridge a day.
I talk about machinery because, like, how important is the machinery? Like, do you need to get do you gotta get a good one, or like the cousins out there what the shit one is all right? Like,
Yeah, no, that's a good part, and this is something that I've been talking about a little bit on my social media lately. It's important. It makes a big difference, but it doesn't make all the difference.
okay.
So for those who are just starting out and have no sort of technical skill behind them, and you're sure you want to do it, I recommend just going straight into getting a good machine, like a real good machine. And there's like heaps of popular brands, but mine at the moment, I use these Dan Cuban Sidewinders. The best I've ever used, my cousin, in almost 18 years of tattooing. The best I've ever used, especially for moko, for lining and stuff like that. And because I think the other part of that equation, or one big part of that equation, is you have the machine and the equipment, and then you have technique. And I said it in this video I just made, and it's I've seen people do shit tattoos with good equipment, and then people do good tattoos with shit equipment. And then the other part of that equation is those ones who can do good tattoos with shit equipment can do great tattoos with good equipment. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So the last part of that for the ones who are just starting out is don't expect the good machine and the good equipment to make up for your bad technique,
if you're shit,
because it's not gonna make up for bad technique. Yeah, if you're shit, bro.
So how do they can they develop, like, if they got bad technique, can they develop good technique, or you just got it or you
100%.
don't?
The best way,
Oh, okay.
100%. The best way to do that is getting a teacher, you know, someone who can take you under their wing, who's willing to take you under their wing. That's the best way, because you've got intimate sort of time with them. You can ask them a million questions, you know, and that's usually over weeks, months, and years sometimes. And the second best part is attending different wānanga, bro. So, for example, here in Aotearoa, we got moko ora wānanga, and they have wānanga throughout the year, bro, across the motu at different marae, and it's purely about moko and stuff. And that's, if you're a blimmin' blank canvas and you want to get into moko, that's the place to go to, because you learn about kōrero and stuff to do with moko. You get to talk to people who actually do it for a living, you know, and you get to pick their brains, and there's all of this mātauranga from years of experience that you get to learn in a fraction of the time. But my my sort of advice to anyone who's thinking of getting into it and learning is don't go in there just to take into any of these spaces where it's going to get a teacher. Like, go in there like with your own skills and like give back to them too. Then just go in there and just like, man, I've got all of this stuff now, I'm gonna run away and go make me some money. You know what I mean? But yeah, probably that, my cousin.
Nah, that's interesting, because yeah, like I'm sorry, I sound like bloody a fucking rookie, but I literally got no clue. Yeah, like I've seen it done before, but I don't know. People
Yeah,
were like,
that's silly.
why you ask about needles? I don't know, gee, I've never bloody done it before. Yeah,
Hey, how would you know, eh?
yeah,
How would you know
no,
unless
but then if
someone's
you don't
taught
know,
you or
you
you've been
fucking
around
ask.
it? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
exactly.
know,
Even
ask.
Nipper,
Yeah.
that's another thing, sort of on that same thread of the tall poppy syndrome is people blooming get what a dummy for asking. It's like, bro, how do you know what you know? You ask questions. Or if you were too shy, you let someone
Yeah.
else ask for you.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
two
too
acres.
shy or too
And I'll
scared.
go,
Yeah,
and
my bro,
go,
you
go.
want to ask them this?
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
know what I noticed too, and even like playing a bit of in there as a kid. There's a lot of, especially our island brothers. They're very like obviously children to all of us, but especially them to like question authority or ask like a coach something or tell them they don't want to play this position. But no good out, cuz like they're just
Mm,
fucking do it, but then they're not happy, cuz like if you're not
yeah.
happy, cuz speak up. Yeah, call
Mumbling
it on
under
my
their
bro.
breath there. This is a different
Yeah, but
different
yeah,
dynamic,
yeah,
because your whole life it's adults reanga.
yeah.
You don't question it. Whatever they say
Oh,
goes. They say jump, you say how high, and then you become an adult yourself. Or you play in these teams where but you
yeah.
haven't learnt to do that.
Yeah, but you know, for me, cause like you know the whole respect your elders,
Mm.
and to an extent, I'm with that. But then I think about barrels, you know, like a lot of our whānau barrels molested and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They all happen from fucking elders, bro. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
bro.
Like,
See,
and if I just questioning, like, never questioning your elders and also respecting them when they tell you, shh, this is our secret, bro.
yeah,
Fuck that.
nah,
Respect your
bro.
elders if they respect you. If they treat you
Yeah,
like shit, fuck them.
yeah, bro.
Like straight up.
I
That's how
100%
it is.
agree, my bro.
Case by
I
case
100%
basis, of
agree,
course.
my bro.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
an asshole
that's
is an
me, bro.
asshole,
Hey,
regardless
Ira,
of
you
how
know?
old they are or if they
Yeah,
are cool or not. If they're
yeah,
an asshole,
100%,
they
brother.
deserve to be treated like one,
Fucking oath. 100, and then
especially if
that's
they
what
shat on you.
yeah, because like you know, and like I always hear this from a lot of people, like you know, people don't respect their elders. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. But then also, let's look at this thing, like you know,
That's
let's
the
open it
whole
all up,
picture, eh?
cuzzy, because
Yeah.
like you know, a lot of people are told, you know, this and that, like respect your elders, and you know what I mean. Then this shit happens, bro. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes and no.
Brr. And that pisses me right off with when the ones that's happened to try and bring it up, and then the final go, oh no, but they've done this too. It's like, so
And what? And
so
what?
what?
Yes,
They've
sir.
ruined all of that by doing this. It should
That's
be
it,
an
like, cause
immediate like, nah, you're freaking out of the family. Goodbye.
yeah, and and that's what happens too. A lot of the whānau, because of that, like they don't they whakamā for the whānau, the ingoa to be like down in the dirt out because
Yeah,
of, you know, so then they don't want, oh, there's all that, bro. Who
yeah,
cares, bro? If,
yeah,
even if they're related to you, that don't mean that's you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like, look, for example, what happened to remember the Kahui twins? Bro,
Yeah,
you think Richard can't still hold his head high as an all black? You know, I don't know if you know Richard
mm.
Kahui, but
Yeah, Richard
you know,
Kahu,
like
yeah,
yeah, like you,
exactly, my bro.
just because he shares the same name as their follower, like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, nah,
come on.
I'm 100% on the same waka as you, my cousin, on that cope up, and it's something that needs to change, my bro.
Yeah.
And it's bro, and this is something that pisses me off. Is just hypocritical thinking and action. So when we hear, oh, this is what it means to be Maori. For this is like I'm just making this
Oh,
up,
yeah,
but
no,
we sort of get
go
it.
hard,
This is what it means to be
Makazi.
Maori. It means
This is our safe
manaki.
space,
Yeah, yeah.
Marcus.
It means manaki tangata. It
Yeah.
means all of these sorts of things. And
Yeah.
then we have some of these holders of our mātauranga and all of that sort of stuff
Mhm.
do the total opposite to that.
The dirtiest
And they
country, brother,
freaking
some of them.
touch kids and all of that, and it's just like,
Yeah,
no, frick, blooming can't have it both ways.
100.
Freaking like freaking boot them out, sort them out and make them.
Yeah.
I think some people may think this is us, but no, blooming deserved. Like make an example of them so that all of these other people get freaking their just desserts as well, and then so it doesn't happen again.
Well, yeah, if you want something to, hey, what's the bear say? You know, doing the same thing over and over as expecting a
Insanity.
different result is just straight up insanity. Because so, like, if you want to change things in your community and your, in your whānau,
Mm.
if you allow these things to continue and not speak up and
Yep.
also shame people that do speak up, like especially
Ah,
when they're children, mother, like
bro.
when we're kids, and then they say that, but fucking believe them, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then
bro.
until believe them, listen to them, like don't just fucking never mind
Yeah,
yours, you know what I mean? Like he
yeah,
wouldn't do
bro.
that. Well, maybe not to
Straight up.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the
because
thing is,
then,
like, now this happens to other people, doesn't happen to us.
yeah,
And
that's another
that's
thing
part of
too.
the
Yeah,
mentality, yeah, yeah. It's like,
yeah,
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 that's what people say until it happens to them.
yeah.
And they
And if you
become
make
those
an
people they
example,
talk
cuz
about.
yeah, hard. But if you make examples of people, people are less likely to do shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You know what I mean? That shit can't live
Yeah.
when it can. When it can live. Like I hear a lot of people say, like, people talk about, oh, you know, like, the world is so, as the world we live in now today is worse than ever. I was like, is it though, or do people
Yeah.
just talk about shit more? Because
Yeah.
like I know stories of like women that were bashed to fuckery of their men
Yeah.
back in the 50s and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even back in the days. How are you saying that's worse today? Like,
I
you know what I
agree,
mean?
my bro.
There's heaps, and you know what I mean. Even there's the ones like my grandmother and my grandfather. They were married for 60 years. Your grandmother hated him for 50 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, stop comparing.
Yeah.
Everything's relative to, like, you trying to say
Relative.
that back in the day, that back in the days was better than today. All that shit was just swept under the rug, cuz, you know what
Exactly,
I
my
mean?
cuz. Exactly, my cuz.
Fuck.
It was never even a thing to think about addressing because there
Nah,
was no
no
chance for it
way.
to blooming gain leaks. Hey,
Yeah.
my cuz.
No way.
You
And
know?
even on that, the domestic violence side, a lot of the wahines would never leave their husband because it was shame to be divorced. You know what I mean? Like, and also there was no way for them to provide for themselves or their
Mm,
children. You know what I mean? So they just
yeah.
stayed. You know what I mean?
Along with
I'm
a
not
bunch
saying
of
this
other
is,
reasons, eh, my bro?
yeah, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's every single woman, but there's plenty
Yeah.
of those too. Like people act like that shit didn't exist. And you know what I've seen a stat too. A lot of people didn't. They talk about there was a crazy a rise in PTSD from World War One to World War Two, which is crazy because they're both wars, right? They're both wars. There's both death.
Mm.
But the only real common thread they could sort of find, or like, sorry, causation they could find, was because in World War One it was like technology wasn't as advanced as it was in, you
Mm.
know, by World War Two, so it was took you a lot longer to get home. So you had to sit with your fellow man and woman and court it all about your hara and all the
Interesting.
stuff that you've been through, got it out before you got home. Whereas in World War Two, they were integrated back into society a lot quicker. And then
Interesting.
that take went straight back home with them. You know what I mean? And you know, all came a lot of dongs because, you know, we all, and I said this quote it all wasn't the bros the other day. Like, people talk about war and how bad it is, like whatever, Palestine, whatever side you sit on. I don't really, I'm not gonna tell you whatever. You know what I mean? Just humanity, you know, or they Kate boy. But war in general is not just, it doesn't just affect the lands that it, like, you know, like
Mm.
East, like Germany being blown up and like all over Europe, all that stuff. It's also the men and even the women that go home. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the generations that come after them, the stuff that happens to
Mm.
them, and yeah.
Yep. Like what happened with our own people, you know, when our Maori battalion and stuff come back, you know, and they go back to all of our kainga and have no way to deal with all of their trauma and
No,
then take it out on our own whānau, you know, and
right.
then there's that, you know, sort of passed on. And yeah, nah, bro, 100% blooming with you on what you're saying. And like, bro, I'm one of those people, bro, who and I wasn't always like this because I was too scared, but
Mhm.
you know, through my own journey to a point where, bro, anything that should be brought up, any stone that should be overturned should be, bro. You know, there should be no things that are off limits. There should be no corridor that's off limits. There should be no taboos. There should be nothing that isn't allowed to be critiqued, bro.
Yeah,
Everything
everything
should
should
be
be
able
up
to
for
be
debate.
torn down
Yeah,
and proven, you know, should be able to prove itself. And yeah, everything should be up for debate. Because then
yeah, I think so.
all of those things that can still stand after all of the scrutiny and all that, oh, maybe those things are
That's
values that we
probably
could
the
live
real one.
by. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably
Exactly.
there. And you know what? And like you said, people that are saying this is the, you know, this is what it means to be Maori, this and that. When you've
Mhm.
got people saying that, but then they perpetrate these acts, brother, you know what I mean? It's like,
Ah,
is that
ugly,
even
bro.
real? You know
Ugly.
what I mean? Like, how can we stand on that? You know what I mean?
I think that too, bro.
It's like for example, the Catholic Church. We can speak on that because it's been proven all around the
Yep.
world that there's a lot of priests
Examples.
that do
Yeah.
there's a lot of examples. It's not just fucking. It's not anecdotal because there's heaps.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only there's heaps where they hide it and all of that kind of stuff. You know, there's even an example of that one. The Pope before this one that moved that dude that touched like 100 deaf kids, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep,
and he moved them. That's what, you know, one big reason, whatever, that he lost his
bro.
seat, whatever.
Yep.
All of that stuff, because like like, you know, and when you question, like, you know, that, you know what I mean, like, or like when you say something about like about their what's going on, and that, oh, they're like, oh, no, he's the you know, he's the head of this
Mm-mm.
church or whatever. We
Mm.
can't look at it that way. Like, bro, fuck that. You should be able to question him. He ain't God.
Yeah,
Like, even if you
shit,
are believing God, like, bro's not God, is he?
yeah, hard up, bro.
Well, if we can't question God either, too, that's what I think too. Is like,
Yeah, I'm the
question
same, bro. I'm the same, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's it's been consistent. I think, you know, and I don't like that, bro. When people pick and choose which things to sort of question and which things not to. You know, it's like,
Mm,
oh no, that's what is it called? Double standards. You know, it's
yeah.
like, oh, you can't think that for this situation and then think the opposite for another situation. If you can overlay the two, and you should be able to scrutinize them the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, nah, to me that's all shit, bro. No integrity.
Yeah, and you're right. If they whatever's left after, it's probably something, a foundation to build
Yeah,
on there. And like, and
that's
then
how I
yeah,
am. Yeah.
you know,
And like
I'm
that's the thing,
what
you
I'm
know, like
saying.
we're saying it, and like all of the things that I think are true can be scrutinized, you know.
Yes, me
And
too,
that's
brother.
that's
I'm
why
willing
I
to
sort
change
of
my
think that,
opinion if you
because
can
they've
prove
been
me differently.
scrutinized by other people. And it's just like, yeah, must be
Yeah.
pretty robust. Yeah, that's worth believing in it.
Yeah, no, tautoko,
Yeah,
brother, and I'm with you. Like,
yeah,
because some people will say to me, a few years ago you said it was like this. I was like, well, that's a few years ago. I didn't have the information I have now, because so,
it's called
and I
learning
reserve the
and
right
growth.
to, yeah, I reserve the right to fucking change my opinion if I get new info. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
bro,
I'm not fucking
wow,
set in
that's
stone.
how main thing you bring up, bro. Because like if you think about it, it's like if you're afraid of being wrong, you will do nothing.
No,
Why bother doing anything? Why bother doing
yeah,
anything if you're afraid of being wrong? Because you
yeah,
could be wrong all the time.
yeah,
You know, you can't be absolutely sure about being right. You just
mm,
say or do things that you believe are true based on your experience up to this point and how your brain works and your
yeah,
understanding is right now. Tomorrow it might change and go, oh, far up. Boy, how wrong was I yesterday? Oh,
yeah.
I've changed.
Yeah, and that's okay. I think that's sweet is, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro.
Like, especially if if you're constantly trying to either check
Yeah,
yourself, or learn, and like, you know, adding
yeah,
new things to your mind to be like, hmm, maybe I was wrong there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Fucking like, I would, even though, you know, these sayings for that. I don't know if you've got it before, but far you've changed. Hey, or like,
I
fucking,
haven't had it before, but I've heard.
well, from when I was 14, you want me to be the
Yeah,
same fella? You
yeah.
know? Like, yeah,
Like
like morally,
ratchet
probably
if you
I am.
haven't.
Yeah, like, wow, what do you want me to be that loser?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's just like, you fellas are missing out on life if you're not changing.
Yeah, those ones, eh?
You
Oh,
might as well
yeah,
die now then. If you're just gonna
yeah,
stay the
totally.
same for the rest of your life, why are you bothering?
Actual, my cousin.
You
I'm
know?
100% with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you develop this mindset? Because that you have this paradigm, you know,
Just
on life and all of that.
probably I've always probably been a bit of an internal sort of fella, bro. You know,
Mm,
like I've probably been shy, to be honest, my bro.
mm.
And I think part of being
Just
shy
observing,
is what's that, sorry?
observing a lot, and like not.
Observing, yeah, bro. As a shy fella, you do observe a lot, you know, and you try and base yourself off what looks like the right way to be based on what's being done around you, my bro. So that sort of like internal wānanga is, I suppose, now I think about it, has been how I've been since a kid. And I don't know what made me like that, or you know what sort of experiences I had to make me think or feel like that. And it's just led into now, my bro, where I just see things that seem interesting or fascinating that may be contradictory to how I think and believe in the moment, and go, oh, far out, that's buzzy. You know, let me go down that rabbit hole, and just because it's fascinating. And then you know, I'm not going in there to learn lessons. Lessons just come because I just happen to go down there, and there happen to be some lessons to be learned. And then if I happen to be in the times when I'm uh vulnerable enough to want to let it sink in, bro, I'll be like,
Mm,
change. And it, you know, I suppose it's kind of like a car, you know, when it starts up, you know, a jump
mm.
start down the hill, you know, once it gathers
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
momentum, it
I know.
just carries on, bro. And you can start the
Mm,
engine, and then it's sort of just been a perpetual thing, bro, just feeding
yeah.
itself, and you know, that sort of curiosity and fascination with uh philosophy and growth and all of those sorts of things, bro. And I think it's what we were just talking about just before, my bro. Just it's been stripping away of a bunch of things, and it's things that look like they're robust. I'll just go, I'm gonna take that on, that value, take that value with me, and so on and so forth. But yeah, bro, probably that, just being observant and curious, and yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to articulate it better, but that's where I am at the moment. Because
it is on the spot. It is on the spot. Because
yeah.
As time progresses, we can add more things to more pieces to the puzzle. More kupu to to the description. The synopsis.
Especially if you take those lessons as they come in, you take them on, and then just go, nope. No,
try hard.
hard out.
Vegan. What's the te kaupapa? How did you get into the vegan?
So the main kaupapa for me is, or the main reason is, just love animals, my cousin.
Yeah.
And since I was a kid, I used to love cats. So we used to have these stray cats turn up at our house all the time, eat our scraps from our kai.
I don't mind the meow too. Oh, wait, no,
different.
Yeah. Stray cat. Look after them.
And then there was just something about them, especially kittens, my cousin. I was just like fascinated by them and just loved them. And there was like this just natural sort of care that I had for them.
Yeah.
And then and it was only for cats. Dogs I was terrified of. I always thought they were gonna bite me. And I found out as an adult.
Did you ever get bitten?
I did. I found out as an adult. I got bitten as a toddler, like maybe 2. My dad said.
Oh, true.
And I didn't even know. I didn't even know because
conscious.
I was like, oh, that explains it. Because every time I would hear a barking dog,
you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know logically, but my body knew. Yeah. The reaction was still there. And then and then watched a few documentaries, my cousin, and learnt about farming and stuff. And I was like, I thought about my life growing up, because we were always around farms. Like we weren't farmers, but there were farms around us.
All around.
It's literally a farm across the road from us. I thought about it. I was like, fire, actually, all of the paddocks I've ever seen are for grazing animals. And sort of those things went together. And I thought about that. And I thought about like mass fishing and stuff. And this was all, so I was learning all this stuff, from documentaries and stuff. And then I was thinking about my own life, what I had observed, and I had gone, that makes sense. You know what I mean? And then I just thought about what animals go through and like mass farming and stuff. And I was like, I can't know that and still carry on eating how I'm eating and still have this love that I have for animals. Yeah, bro. So I went vegetarian first, and then watched some more documentaries, and I only went vegetarian because I was like, I don't want to give up eggs, I grew up eating eggs, my cousin, and then,
eggs and everything too.
Yeah. We had 5 trays of eggs growing up, all the time. And
all the time.
Watched some more documentaries, my cousin, and learned some more. And then for me, it was about putting my money where my mouth is, so to say. It was walking the walk. For myself, I didn't believe I could say I love animals in the way that I do, and have this compassion that I say that I do, and not change. So this is exactly what we were talking about before. Get this new information, and then you're faced with a decision whether or not to change. And I changed. Yeah. So I became vegan. I was the last person I thought would be a vegan. We had a vegan fellow we worked with at the shop in Hamilton, and I remember thinking, wow, bro, I could never do that, but choice. And then here I am, blooming 8 years later.
8 years?
8 years later this weekend, actually, my cousin, was Easter 2016.
That's it. How do we celebrate, cuz?
Easter 2018, sorry. 2016.
How do we celebrate? Go run a triathlon.
Even that.
On the way, cousin. On the way.
On my way, my cousin. On
the way. That's it.
And then one of the things that comes up often, obviously, not a very common person to run into, a Maori vegan atheist.
yeah. When I was thinking, when I read that, I was like trying to. I'm off the cuff always, but I thought I was like, oh, maybe I just like I was riffing a couple of intros out. I was gonna go something like draws atu a Maori, an atheist that draws atu a Maori, and tattoos a vegan that tattoos the meat of humans. But then I was like, nah, the brain might think I'm a tiki now.
Nah.
And then leave.
Who do I exit?
yeah. No. I better not say that. The brain might take off.
Nah, bro. That's me too, bro. Like, I can take myself seriously, bro. I can have a laugh about myself, bro. But one of the jokes that I say often, my bro, is you know, there's those people, and this is nothing against them. I just think it's funny sometimes. You know, some people who are hippie, and you know, like there's a broad spectrum of hippie people. You know, and a lot of them
like the stone sort of hippie one, those ones. Or?
Nah, I'm talking about those ones who sort of walk around and sort of like talk about like spirituality, and you're just trying to order McDonald's or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just a made up scenario, but you know what I mean. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And and I always joke, bro. And I was just like, you're probably vegan, you know, and bro, it's funny because I'm vegan, bro. No, bro, like
you're right,
I don't take it too serious, but I laugh about it, bro. And I've got these pants, bro, and they're like these Japanese pants, bro, with the string that you tie up. And then I go to my bro, I was like, if you were to look at my pants, what diet do you reckon I have? Vegan, there's a freaking vegan pants. I was like, yeah, that's why it's appropriate that I'm wearing the I laugh about it too, bro, because it's funny.
That's that 8 Mile effect, though, because if you can't take the piss out of yourself, if you take the piss out of yourself, you take the words out of the enemy's hands because they can't do anything, you know?
They got no
Yeah, brother. What do you say? I am white. I am a fucking bum. I do live in a trailer with my mum. Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, fuck, that's why I like one of my famous ones on TikTok. Yeah, one of my famous ones on TikTok, because I always go around and tell everyone I got a 1 inch, you know. Some people go around there and they're like, fuck, I got the big one, this and that. But I was like, I got a 1 inch. Or I think they'll say on TikTok, if you battle, they'll be like, your team's small. They'll be like, yeah. They'll be like, you're small. And I'll be like, yeah, I got a 1 inch. And then they'll be like,
yeah, and then they're like, oh, don't even know how to react.
Yeah, and then people are like, do you really? I was like, yeah.
And what?
And what? You're never
going to see and find out.
Yeah, no, can only pop with the one you got.
Not unless I do an OnlyFans, in which case $18 a month. Nah.
Up the OnlyFans, some toenails on that one, cause but yeah, but that's not good on you, cause but that's actually what I thought when I read your thing, and then because I went to, you know, I was doing a bit, and I read the thing, and then because your brother goes, podcast my brother, you know, because your brother, like him and I talk a lot, like, you know, just about football and all that, and just, you know, kids and whatever, and you know, just from TikTok, that's how me and the bro met. Yeah, and he's like, you should podcast my brother, because he see me interviewing people. And then he was like, yeah, add him on Instagram, but so that's why I sent you the message, brother. But I didn't do like a full thing. He just told me, as I was like, yeah, fuck, I would call it out to anybody, brother. Like anybody that has a cool story, anybody that likes to talk, let's go. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you got a big following or you're just, you know, I'll go down the road. That's good. You think he has a good yarn. Like, let's go. Because you get so clippable and all content, because you know what I mean?
Learn something, my bro.
And that's it. I don't.
Got more from everyone, if you're willing to listen. Just in general.
Hopefully someone does, like, you know, these will exist on mediums for a long time to come. All these different, you know, platforms, audio.
That's the thing, my bro. That's the thing. That's one of the parts of one of the things about being lucky these days, you know, the access that we have.
So lucky, because we don't have to put an ad in the fucking newspaper and pay money. Like, you know, we're just for free. Yeah, like
there's no excuse these days, because no excuse.
Literally. But the only thing is just the fuckamai. It's like how do you deal with that? Because you put up videos and being a shy fella. Like, was it easy for you?
Hell no. I remember, bro, I actually uploaded it a few years ago. The first video I ever made, and it wasn't for social media, but it was for some of the tauira back at Whakataane High School, and it was from one of my old teachers. She's, we've got some of these students who are finishing. Can you just make a video or something? Just maybe some words of inspiration, you know, because you do art for a living, and you know, tattoo, blah blah blah. Super awkward, my cuz. Like,
what did you say?
I think I just said, exactly like this, probably just, kia ora everyone. My name is Te Haunui. I'm an artist and do tattoos, and congratulations on your fellas finishing school, and hope you fellas do well. Just follow your passion. Probably said something like that, my bro.
Yeah,
And then
but like feeling awkward as.
yeah, bro. And that was probably like take 12. Sweating,
Yeah,
bro. My
yeah,
hands were sweating, and I was just like, just send it like them. And I shared it, bro, on purpose, because by that point I shared it again. It had been years had passed, and I had grown,
yeah.
in terms of being a bit more comfortable in front of the camera and stuff.
Sweet as.
And the whole purpose of it was just to show, you can be awkward as, and start out, and you can still get comfortable in front of it if you do it enough times. But and
Yeah.
to be honest, my bro, I still a challenge that I face daily. Just worrying about what others think about me, and
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of that being a people pleaser. And it's a
Oh,
label
yeah.
that I try not to own, but that's probably just the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Trying to be a people pleaser, so you care about what they think if you're like that. But bro, like less and less, and I've noticed actually, because it just come off Wānanga yesterday and the day before over in Rotorua, Me Ora Kaora Moko Symposium. And I notice in those sort of spaces, if it's people that are inspiring and people that I want to be around, and the kōrero is beautiful and delicious, my batteries are charged, and like not once has the audience and how they think about me come into my mind, So coming off
Yeah.
the back of those things, where you feel like you got like this armor
Yeah.
around you, and but most of the time, my bro, like I'm pretty sweet, because
Yeah.
I suppose I've got that proof with the body of work,
Yeah.
and I would consider, uploads on social media a body of work and
Oh,
evidence.
100%,
Yeah, that's
100%.
evidence. Yeah.
Like people talk about like, oh, some lady that said, oh, good luck to get on your podcast. You have a good podcast over to me. I'm like, fuck off, I think I'm just doing I'm like, but like at the same time, I like, oh, they say you can like you don't like you seem like just a natural. Like, but I've been streaming for like 5 years, you know what I mean? So I've been talking to a camera every day for 5
Yeah.
years, you know what I mean? Like this is just obviously it's a progression that happened, and I intended 5 years ago to do this, but all of that was my training, my fucking my chin-ups, it's my triathlon preparing me for
Those are your
Inani, you know what I
reps.
mean? It's my rips, cuz that was my
Yes.
leading into becoming a all black, cuz it's fucking
Exactly, my
sitting there
cuz.
just talking to randoms on the internet on stream, cuz
Yes, my
and then
cuz.
trying to entertain them and having fun, and then
Yeah.
having different discussions with all different people from all over the
Yeah.
world, cuz all over
Yes, my
or
cuz.
all around, depending what shape you think the world is. But
He said some false stuff on their podcast. He said the earth was round.
Yeah. He said it was a tree.
Screw him. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, unsubscribe. Yeah, fuck you anyway. I don't want you anyway. It's like old did you see that? Oh, just on that, what you said, brother, about being like, still being uncomfortable. Mike Tyson has a good quote. You got to do what you hate, but do it like you love it.
Yes, I have heard
like
that,
if you
my
want to grow,
cousin.
if you want to grow and
That was a
like
good reminder.
become the champion, become the champion. You got to do what you fucking hate, but do it like you love it. I like that one, cousin, because that's right, brother. Like when it feels like, oh, it's like you're pushing against something. Like on the other side of that is the, well, for lack of a better term, the blessing, I guess. That's the fucking on the other side is that's where the growth is there. Like you smash against something, and it's like it's hard, but like it's only hard because you're in your mind. You're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like it can't be bothered. Like you know what I mean?
Straight
But
up.
like push through those fucking fuckaros and just
Yeah.
even just this little mahi here, like sitting here clicking away, fucking doing having a tutu, making clips, and putting all the audio things to the audio platforms, creating the descriptions. Shout out to ChatGPT, makes my descriptions a bit better, because any whanongas out there, they see my descriptions and go, fuck, I know the bro's English is me. No, it's not.
He's leveled up.
But the good thing is, like, I put all my rough, like say for this kōrero, I got a really good memory, because so I'll put all of what I remember from the kōrero into ChatGPT and say, give it me a description, and I'll look at it and then be like, oh yeah, and then like sort of filter from that. And then copy and paste it. People be like, "Oh, that's cheating." Not LB. Fucking everyone else is doing it. Now you're gonna be left behind. You wanna be the farmer that didn't want to give up the horse when to plow the field when the tractor took over.
It, my bro.
It's
a tool, man. It's a tool to be used. And don't be those ones who get left behind who say, "Nah, that's cheating. That's cheating." It's like every generation previous said a version of the same thing. And then the ones who are onto it adapted and grew and became who they eventually became, successful,
And I think they, I think they're like, oh nah, because like then I'm not thinking for myself. No, but it's like if you give ChatGPT like a tool like that, if you give it just a simple fucking thing, it's gonna give you the same thing that everyone gets. But if you ask critical questions, then it'll put in like
That's the thing.
critical shit. It'll give you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's the
about the
thing. You
prompts
gotta
you give it.
actually think to make
Yeah.
exactly. But
If
like
you don't know how to
people's like,
give
oh,
prompts,
that's
it's not going to
lazy.
give you anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
100%.
it's a tool. I agree, my bro. It's a tool to
Try
be
and write
used.
fucking meme descriptions every day and film them and edit
Yeah.
them and make clips and still fucking sleep.
Bro,
Yeah,
exactly.
shut up.
Because of it, you
And
have
still
more
have a
leverage.
life.
And you can do all of
I
these
know.
things in the same amount of time. Because that's what it is,
So,
really.
I
That's
ain't
what
gonna
all of
lie,
these
because
tools are.
that's
Yeah.
ChatGPT that helped me do that. So everybody's like,
Yeah.
fuck, because
Yeah,
one of the
my
brothers
cousin.
goes, fuck, your written word is mean. I'm thinking, I just cracked up and nah, because it's not really, but like I just thought of everything that was said in that conversation and try to articulate it into my little rough draft, and then
Yep.
that very helped me out.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, my cousin.
So
Actually,
then you
on one
write
of
a
my
book,
most
hey,
recent
Kazi?
videos,
Yeah,
I used it. I used ChatGPT on one of my most recent videos. There was this idea that I was trying to say, and I didn't know how to say it more succinctly than I had written it out. It was pretty long.
Yeah.
And then I wrote that into ChatGPT, and it gave me a shorter, straight to the point version. I was like, there it is. And the more you do that, you'll naturally be able to think of that yourself anyway.
Yeah, and
You're
that's it
teaching
too, my
yourself
brother.
as well, like we were talking about earlier with your young fella.
Repetition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard. And you learn to like, cause fucking I don't know like how to structure shit properly, but like I know how to talk and like you say, gifted a gab, that's skated boy. But like when it comes to actually structuring shit like for how people actually grammatically read, I don't
Mhm.
because but
Yeah.
as the more I read them, I'm starting to learn and then also starting to realize how to structure my rough drafts when I type them
Yeah.
in, because they can be quite extensive. Like, don't get me wrong, they can be pretty like try and put as much information into it as possible. But then it's
Mm.
the wordings that I say, oh yeah, I've seen that wording a bit too much. Like in another one, I'll take that one out and swap
Bit
it
too much
here.
repetition.
Yeah. Nah, fuck like you said, cause
Nah, I hear what
that's it, fun. Utilize these tools, fun.
Tools
We
to be
getting gyms.
used.
We're getting gyms out here from Te Haunui, the
Yeah.
artist, vegan,
And the
agnostic, atheist.
the
Good
thing what,
fun,
cuz, but tools are only tools, It's
Yeah.
that's not important. It's what you can do with them that's important,
Yo,
and
a
they're
hammer,
there
you
to be
can use the
used.
hammer to build a house, or you can use it to kill someone if you want. It's up to you.
Exactly, my
You can use
cuz.
a knife
Perfect
to
analogy.
you can use the knife to chop up food for a small child, or you can use it to plunge it into someone. That's the tool and how you use it for sure.
Exactly,
Yeah.
my cuz.
Kazi, got a couple of questions before I let you go. Sorry, I'm fucking
Yep.
taking up all your time. My bad, my
Nah,
bad.
this has been mean. This has been mean, my cuz.
I enjoyed it too, Kazi. If there's a young up and coming artist that's up there and he's just Te Haunui, give me one piece of advice for as I sit on this journey of moko and all of this, other than what you've already said. Do you have any gems or one piece that you can give him?
Ooh, probably. Be curious. That'll be it. Stay curious, because this is a good tie into a saying that we say heaps. As Maori is being a tutu. Really, what that is being curious, and that's how you find things out. And bro, transfers. You can go
Even here,
to
Kazi, we're not sitting
podcasting.
here if I'm not a tutu.
Exactly what cuz. Yeah. So be curious.
Tutu.
That's what I say. Be a tutu. Be a tutu. And the
Yeah,
thing
I'll make
about
a
it is,
t-shirt. Be a
because
tutu.
you learn how to break things, my cuz. Learn how to break
Yeah.
things. When you learn how to break things, you learn how they're made, and you go, interesting.
Yeah.
What if I break it this way?
Yeah, that's all now. Be a
Yeah,
tutu.
so
You should make that fucking trademark that out. Be a tutu and go make a
be a
t-shirt.
tutu. Then there'll be those people who use the other one, the other meaning of being a tutu.
Too much.
Hey, be a tutu.
I like
If you
that
think
thing,
like that,
Marcus.
this isn't for you.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Buy the cunt. No. Buy it and wear it. No. Yeah,
You're
I like
supporting
that.
a
Be
good
tutu.
cause.
Yes, my brother. Hey,
That's it, my cousin. Be a tutu.
Be a tutu. Be curious. Yeah,
So
that's
any of
beautiful.
those who don't understand Te Reo Māori had never heard that before. When we say, this fella's a tutu, sometimes it means, this fella's curious.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
And
it
what else
means,
does it mean?
sometimes it means they're curious in other areas.
Yeah. The curiosity that killed the cat. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Oh, sorry, not the cat same one, but my bad. Yeah, killed the dog. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, if you could only eat one kai, and this is interesting because you're vegan,
got it.
and one kai for the rest of your life, one meal has to be like a meal. What would it be for the rest of your
Baked
life?
beans
This
on
is very-
toast. Really got it,
Ooh.
my cousin. I just had baked beans on
Okay,
toast before we did
or-
this. Nah, just olivani,
Oh,
and Waddy's baked beans on toast. Some of the other baked beans are a bit sour.
Easy.
They're a bit sour
Okay.
sauce.
Yeah.
So Waddy's baked beans is the one. And I just had
Waddy's
it
baked
before,
beans.
and I was just like, I forget how bloody great this kai is, man.
Take it back to the old days. Just
Yeah,
minus
straight up.
the egg. Yeah.
Minus the egg. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad this is still as great as it is.
Ah, there
Yeah,
we
baked
go.
beans on
Waddy's
toast, my cousin. Baked beans on toast.
That was easy. Because you was ready for that. Baked beans on toast. Let's go. One superpower, cuz. What are you choosing? Why?
Easy one without like being a super deep fella. Teleportation, because I hate long drives, cuz.
Well, teleportation is the one, but you could go fucking have breakfast in Rome, have
Bro,
fucking
I was
lunch in
sitting
fucking
there
New
with you,
York,
bro.
cuzzy, and
I was
like,
going around
be
with
back
my
home
best
for
mate.
dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What up? Nah, nothing. Want a croissant? Yeah, sweet. Psh.
yeah, I
from
gotta
Paris,
say,
brother.
yeah, from Paris, cuz yeah, croissant, yeah,
We'll go. Yeah, the bro goes,
yeah.
bro, you're just doing a surprise wedding over in Fiji. Oh, what are you up to? Oh, no, just looking
Ah,
at TV.
look, I
You'll
just
come.
woke up
Psh.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Shit, I
Yeah,
forgot my tie. Psh.
Okay. We talking about the drink or the tie? The Mai Tai.
Either. Okay,
If you go back to our young Te Haunui and just call it all to him, but without telling them be curious, what else would you give to him, that young Te Haunui?
Oof, I would probably say it's cool that you like the stuff that you like.
It's all good.
Yeah. Because
That's
there's
all, man.
sometimes when I was into certain things that I'll feel like a bit like, I feel like some people might think I'm a bit of a loser.
What about
You know, I
weirdo?
think I'm a bit of a weirdo, but just say,
Yeah.
all the stuff that you like, it's cool.
Safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's the one now, cuz.
Mm.
Solid. Fast forward 10 years from now, where's Te Haunui? What's going on? What do you see?
Hopefully, not trying to relearn the lessons I should have learned already. You know, hopefully ears that work, my bro. Work.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Well, tell me when you figure that out, cuz I still don't got those.
Fuck, you know those lessons that keep popping up, and you're like, nah. I've heard this lesson freaking for the last 5 years. So hopefully,
Why though? I could be fucking. Yeah, no, I'm the same.
Hopefully, only new lessons, my cuz. Hopefully, only new lessons to be learned, no
like
old
that
ones.
Yeah.
Hopefully, someone who's more secure in himself, as every version of himself that is out there, online, as a partner, as a son, as a cousin, you know, as a bro, all of those sort of things.
Because as a partner, can you talk on your partner at all? Like, what does she mean to you?
Like everything. And it's, bro, we've gone through the ringer, together, and that's where our most powerful lessons have been learned together. And you know, that's my person who knows me and who I know, and it's and it's cool, bro. Like, even now, you know, even to this day, sometimes we have quarreled with each other, and we're like, man, even after all the years, we've been together for 14 years almost. Almost 14 years, my bro. And
also back in Kiri you hooked up
before, it was the year before.
2010. Whakatane?
Whakatane high, yeah. She's a year below me. Yeah, high school, yeah. And so, bro, and this is it. I think, like, for people who are single, just imagine all of the best things in your life that you like and enjoy doing, but you get to, and you know how those things are made better when you get to share it. That's what it is, but you get that all the time, you know. So, like, when you do anything, like when you have a kai, it's all right by yourself, but better when you're with your partner. Even, you know, it doesn't have to be intimately eating together, but just knowing that they're there, you know, and
Yeah.
watch a movie, watching it with your partner, it's better.
Yeah. Make a movie, yeah.
Yeah. What's it gonna be? Go to bed. It's better with your partner.
Yeah.
All of these things, you know,
It's
very
better
long,
with your partner going to bed.
long, boring drives. Better
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your partner, my cousin.
Oh, God, going to bed. Hold on, my brother. It's on, cuzzy. Just brother, time's the most valuable commodity we have as human beings, my cousin, and thank you for giving us, nearly 2 hours of your time, my brother.
Nah, thank you, my cousin. It didn't feel like that. That's how you know the kōrero was delicious.
Yeah, hard. Well, I hope this isn't the last time we sit down on here, but even
Yeah.
in person as well. I'm actually gonna, I'll figure it all out. I'm not gonna look like Stan, but I'm gonna look like Shubs. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll figure it out, and then I know maybe have a
The one and
wānanga with
only.
you, and we'll figure something out, and put something on my upoko.
Sounds good, my
Yeah.
cuz. Sounds good.
Yeah, big love there, my brother. Dame, yeah.
Too much, my brother.
Whānau, check
Arohanu,
him out.
brother.
Te Haunui art. Is that right? Is that
Te
the
Haunui
correct
Art,
app?
yep.
It's I chucked it in the during the episode, slipped it in, my cousin.
Everywhere on all
Everywhere,
social media,
everywhere.
even
Whānau,
YouTube as well.
Oh yeah. What about on the red tube? Oh no. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.